Chapter 24. Colm left his parents' funeral reception and returned to his family's home at the ranch. He spent the night alone, eating leftovers out of mason jars he packed full at the potluck reception. The wind howled and snow blew down from Canada. Colm sat by the wood-burning cook stove whittling until the wee hours of the morning, thinking about all the things his father had taught him. Realizing his dad would not be there to teach him more, he thought about his mother's cooking, her garden, and the loving way she raised him. Colm woke up in John's rocking chair before first light. He warmed a turkey leg and some sweet potatoes for breakfast. At the barn, Colm caught Socks as soon as he could see. He saddled up and haltered the other 3 horses and ponied them to Otto Langford's place to be looked after while he was at Cold Creek. "Why don't you stay with us for a while?" Otto encouraged the young man, placing his hand on Colm's shoulder. "Thanks," Colm replied, "but I have to ride back to Cold Creek and get to work. Amos and Alton are counting on me." "I hope you don't forget about us," Otto said. "I won't. Do you know how much water there is that I haven't thrown on you yet?" Colm laughed. "Yes, I do. And do you know how you will look standing in town when I pull your pants down?" Otto joked back. "Sounds like we still have a lot of unfinished business to take care of." Colm smiled at Otto. "I'd better go in and say goodbye to Emily." Emily gave Colm a pack of food rolled in a piece of canvas, which he tied to the back of his saddle. He said his goodbyes, mounted Socks, and rode off to Conifer Cliffs. He wanted to avoid everyone but Laura and get back to work at Cold Creek to get his mind off his parents' death. When he entered Dyson's cafe, Margie prepared a plate of food for him, found Laura, and told her to keep Colm company. They talked for an hour while Colm ate and Laura drank root beer. "I probably won't be back until spring when the grass is ready to turn the cows out," he told her. "I miss you when you're gone," Laura admitted softly. "You better get ready to do a lot of kissing next summer," he whispered with a grin. "I'm ready, and you had better not let me down," she blushed. It was just before noon when Colm mounted Socks and started his 30-mile trot to Cold Creek. He arrived in the cold, moonlit night in time to get a good sleep. While Colm was gone, Amos's Australian Shepherd/Border Collie bitch had whelped 6 pups. Amos let them in the house for the first week, but then made a warm place for them in the haystack in the barn. Harold, 6, and his sister Karen, 4, couldn't leave the pups alone. After the kids played with the pups, Colm tucked the furry little creatures in the back of the hole in the stack where it was warm for them. He took a special liking to one of the pups whose head was half white and half black, with a white collar, a black body, and 3 white socks. Every time Colm went into the barn, he couldn't help but pick up this one pup he called Hooligan. Just before Christmas, Amos got low on hay. On the morning of December 20th, Amos and Colm loaded the sleigh, leaving only enough hay for the horses. Amos drove his team out of the gate and headed for Alton's place at Juniper Junction. Colm and Socks followed the 700 hungry cows and calves trotting behind the hay that Amos threw into the road. Halfway there, Amos met Alton with another load of hay on his sleigh. Amos turned around and drove his team back to Cold Creek, and the cows ran after Alton's fresh load headed for Juniper Junction. The further down Cold Creek they went, the less snow there was, and the faster the cows ran after the hay. Alton drove his team through the gate and into the pasture, where the cows would spend the rest of the winter, and pitched off the rest of his load. Amos drove his truck to Alton's and waited for him at the stack, ready to help haul another load. Colm rode into the pasture with the last stragglers, shut the gate behind them, and helped feed. Amos had brought all of Colm's belongings and dropped them off at Alton's house, where he would be living until spring. Kana, Alton's daughter, asked her mother all winter when Colm would be staying with them, and the only answer she ever received was, "When Amos runs out of hay." Then Kana asked, when would Amos run out of hay? Her crush on Colm was not a secret. The day Kana saw her Uncle Amos drop off Colm's things, she was surprised and very happy. She knew it would be fun to have Colm stay with her family, so she thought of ways to trick him and tease him. When Colm asked, "Where are the things Amos brought down?" Cana replied, "He didn't bring anything. Maybe I'll have to lend you a dress to wear." "Can I spank your daughter, Alton?" "Sure, if you can catch her." "Every time I want to spank her, I can't catch her." Alton chuckled. "I think she's pretty ticklish, just so you know." "Dad, don't tell him that." "Very interesting," Colm said, grabbing her unexpectedly. "Let me go," she screamed. "I'll hold her while you tickle her, Alton," Colm hollered. "I better not. Then I would have to fight with her mom, and I don't want to do that." Alton grinned. "I want you kids to have fun together, but it doesn't have to be like a couple of pups tearing the house up," Sarah informed them, pointing to Colm, still holding Cana, struggling to get away. "Okay," Colm let go of her. "I don't want to make the cook mad. I have a lot of eating to do." "I'm glad you have that figured out," Sarah smiled. "Come and get it, or we'll throw it to the hogs." She pointed to the pot of stew on the stove and the hot loaf of bread she had just taken out of the oven. Colm ladled his bowl full of beef stew, took a piece of bread, and sat down across from Cana, who had just filled her mouth. He wiggled his ears. Cana laughed and spewed stew back into her bowl. "How do you do that?" she asked, gagging and blowing her nose. "It's a secret," he teased, doing it again. "Do it again," Sean begged, eyes as big as saucers. "You kids eat your dinner and quit the monkey business," Sarah snapped, trying to settle the kids down. "But Cana is a monkey," Sean giggled. "I thought she looked a little funny," Colm commented. "Monkeys don't have freckles," Alton smiled. "Cana monkeys do," Sean laughed. "I like every one of her freckles." Colm winked at her. "If there is a weirdo here, I think it's her little brother." Alton and Sarah's eyes met, acknowledging the exchange between Cana and Colm. Christmas was only 2 days away. Colm felt an obligation to the family he was living with to give them something for Christmas. He asked Alton for an afternoon off so he could ride to the store in Granite, where he might find something suitable. He caught socks and trotted the 7 miles. The store was bigger than Rennie's store, with more merchandise. Colm had never been shopping before. He walked up and down the aisles, wondering what to buy. Finally, he asked the storekeeper what would be a good gift to give the family he was living with. The storekeeper suggested a box of chocolates. He bought the 2 biggest boxes for the Coulters and the Clarks and carried them as gently as he could the 7 miles back, arriving in time for dinner. "Where did you go this afternoon?" Cana asked. "I forgot," he grinned. "Tell me." She pulled on his ear. "I went to buy some new ears in case you pull one of them off," he screeched. On Christmas Eve, the Coulter family hung red glass balls and silver tinsel on a 6-foot-tall white fir Christmas tree. Sean scattered tinsel all over the living room while his mother tried to teach him to lay only one strand on the tree at a time. Cana stood on a chair and delicately hung the tinsels one by one on the tree's top. Alton and Colm relaxed on the couch, sipping eggnog and watching the kids decorate the tree. With the decorations done, Cana and Sean sat next to the tree on the wooden floor, shaking presents, trying to guess what was in them, and begging to open them tonight instead of in the morning. Finally, Sarah and Alton gave in to their kids' wishes. Colm couldn't help but reflect on the hard times his family had when there were no Christmas presents, but he was happy for these kids. Alton handed Colm a present from Dax and Polly. He was surprised. He opened it to find a pair of spurs Dax had seen him looking at in a Montgomery Ward catalog several months before. Then, he was handed another gift. It was homemade cookies and candy from Samantha. Colm felt good having not been forgotten this Christmas, when he was prepared to continue his sadness for the recent loss of his parents. Next, he gave the gift he purchased to Sarah. "This is for your family," he said with a smile. "You didn't need to," Sarah replied, surprised, unwrapping the red and white paper from the thick oblong box. "Whitman sampler. We all love these so much," she exclaimed. Thank you, Colm. You folks have been so good to me, he grinned appreciatively. Alton handed Colm an envelope. He opened it and read the card. Dear Colm, I miss you so much. I'm too young to leave my mom, but in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to hitch a ride with Amos and come to live with you for all of my life. I hope we can spend many years chasing every cow in the country together. See you soon, Hooligan. Really? What a great Christmas present. I love that little pup, Colm exclaimed gleefully. It's from all of us, the Coulters and the Clarks, Alton said. Thank you so much. Hooligan in socks. What more could I want? Hooligan is the best present ever. In Conifer Cliffs, Samantha spent Christmas with Dawn. He gave her a yellow gold diamond engagement ring she accepted gratefully. New Year's Eve, as usual, came quickly on the heels of Christmas. For the celebration, Alton and Amos drove their families and Colm to Granite, where all the longtime residents of the extended Clear River drainage community would congregate. By 8 p.m. on December 31st, 1922, people from miles around assembled to bring in the new year together. Colm hooked up with Samantha and Dawn, who brought Dax and Polly to the party. Dyson's closed their cafe early and drove the 20 miles to see friends and enjoy the festivities. Otto and Emily Langford were happy to see Colm, who, in Otto's mind, was the son he never had. The music played, everyone danced, visited, and caught up on the year's happenings. Tired little kids slept on and under the continuous bench surrounding the large hall. When Colm danced with Laura, Cana became jealous, and when he danced with Cana, Laura felt jealous. To solve the problem, he spent most of the night dancing with several girls he had never met before. At the stroke of 12, horns blew, confetti flew, and 1923 began. Samantha and Dawn were married on Saturday afternoon, January 13, 1923. Polly was a source of help for the wedding, taking the place Samantha's mother would have certainly cherished. The ceremony at the Conifer Cliffs Christian Church was bittersweet. Samantha still mourned the loss of her parents. It saddened her deeply that her mother and father were not here to witness this important event in her life. She thought of her future children not having loving grandparents. Kyle Brisky performed the duties of the best man. Quinn was a groomsman, and Colm walked Samantha down the aisle, swearing to kill Dawn if he ever made her cry. After a reception hosted by the entire community, the newlyweds spent their wedding night at the Brookston Hotel and returned refreshed and ready to go to work on Monday. Dawn moved into Samantha's house in town, where they started their life as a happily married couple.